So this morning, Critics' Choice Award, congratulations.
And to you too, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's not about me right now, it's about you. So this is, and you're gonna stick around and help me with 12 Days a little later, which is gonna be fun. Okay, how many people remember the Tonya Harding story where she was accused of hurting Nancy Kerrigan and all that stuff. So that's what this movie is. And you play the mother, but you don't skate in the movie, but I found out you were a competitive skater.
Well, I dreamed of being. It was my first dream as a child before even thinking about being an actor. I wanted to be an Olympic figure skater, and I was really committed and passionate about it. I would get up in school, before school in the morning and go to the rink, and then after school, and then I had this terrible accident that sort of stopped my skating career.
Wow.
And I went in a different direction. But I wanted to tell you the reason I quit, I had this accident, and the reason I had this accident because I was playing a game and I was cheating.
Oh.
And I thought you would appreciate that.
Yes,
it was like my early days of cheating because I was so competitive. I was playing this game where with these couples, and it was parents and kids. It was a big party, and you had to dance with in a couple, and you had the woman had a balloon tied around her ankle, and you had to pop all the other couples' balloons. And it was down to 2 couples, and it was and I had this strapless long dress on, and I decided to I pulled my balloon up to my knees so that it wasn't anywhere near the ground. So I was
Isn't that interesting? So you started cheating early in life because every time we've played a game, you've cheated. And so I have a feeling
almost every time.
You could win the Oscar because you know how to cheat. So you could cheat your way into winning the Oscar.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm gonna bet on you because I know you're a cheater. And obviously Margot Robbie, who produced the movie and stars in it as Tonya, skates because she's in the...
Well, she did. She had been an ice hockey player for a brief moment in her life, and she'd never done figure skating, and it's a different animal altogether. And I'm so impressed with what she did. She trained for like 5 months before we did the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really good. I texted you and told you how brilliant.
I know. It was thrilling to get a text from you, and you know.
Well, I said that you're going to get nominated for an Oscar, and you will get nominated for an Oscar, and you will. You will. If not win. So tell everybody about I, Tonya. It's just done so well.
It is done beautifully. My friend Stephen Rogers wrote this movie, and he went and started interviewing Tonya Harding. He went up to Portland to meet her and interview her, and he met Jeff Gillooly, and he didn't know how he was going to actually write the movie, but as he started interviewing them, he found it just so interesting that they both had completely different versions of what happened in their relationship and about the incident. And he thought, that's how I'm going to tell the story, from everyone's different point of view.
Right.
And then, of course, the mother, the only thing they did agree about is what a kind of tough mother LaVonna was.
She was a horrible mother. Not a tough mother. She was a horrible mother.
Not a very nurturing mother. I didn't want to, spoil it for everyone, to let them discover.
Yeah, well, you can kind of see from you're standing on the ice smoking a cigarette, pushing your kid. And Tonya was at the premiere.
She was at the premiere last night. I finally got to meet her. It was
Did she love it?
She did. I think she loved my performance a lot, which I was like, oh, you poor thing. Yeah, that must have been really. She loved the movie. There are parts she didn't like, but I think she was really excited about it. And I just wanted to give her a hug because, back when we first heard about the story, we were told what to think about her, and we were told she was a villain. And it was a lot more complicated than that, the story of what happened to her. And I think people come away with a lot more compassion for her.
I do, and I don't know, but I come away from it looking like she had nothing to do with it. It to me looks like that other person did it, and she knew nothing about it.
Yeah, well, everyone, they don't tell you what to think about it, but everyone will have their own opinion. I'm glad you think that.
That's
what I think, too.
Yeah, I think that she had a very unfortunate situation in her life, and but boy, she was so talented, she was so good, and it's really a shame because it just ruined her career.
I know. They can't take the triple away from her, though. She did land the triple axel, one of the only, a handful of women have ever done that.
Yeah.
In fact, for the stunt, we had to do it, and the director, Craig Gillespie, was like, well, let's get someone to do that triple axel. And they're like, there's nobody who could do it.
Right.
The only 2 women who could do it were competing or getting ready for the Olympics, and they didn't want to risk injuring themselves for a movie.
That says something.
So they had to CGI that stuff.